What's up, everyone? This is Nate, and I'm back with another Out of the Theater review. Now, actually going to be dropping two. I went to a double feature, saw two movies tonight, and the first one that I'm going to be reviewing for you here is a little movie called Abigail. This is a new horror movie from Universal, directed by Radio Silence, who, of course, directed the last two Scream movies, Scream 5, Scream 6, and also Ready or Not, a movie that I liked quite a bit. So I was looking forward to this movie. Before I get into my review, if you would please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell icon, that way you get notified every time new videos drop. Also, leave me a thumbs up down below if you like these Out of the Theater reviews, and let me know in the comments if this is a movie that you have seen. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you looking forward to it? Not really your thing. I want to know your thoughts. Yeah, so I like this directing duo. I like all three of those movies. Scream 6 probably being the weakest, but I still enjoyed it for the most part. Scream 5 I liked. Ready or Not, probably their best movie, honestly. So I was looking forward to this one. Well, those are the ones I've seen, those three. I don't know if they've directed anything else. I will say this. I have a little bit of a beef with this movie, and it has to do with the marketing. I like the movie. I thought it was very good. I had a really good time. I thought it was a very, very entertaining vampire movie. They don't really make too many movies like this anymore. I can't remember the last vampire movie I watched that had this kind of spirit. Maybe like Fright Night. Even the remake, it reminded me kind of like Fright Night remake or the original Fright Night. Just an R-rated, bloody, entertaining vampire movie. I wouldn't say it's particularly scary. There's a couple of there's one or two little jump scares in here, but nothing really like suspenseful or anything. This movie knows exactly what it is trying to set out to do, and that is to entertain. And on that front, I think they knocked it out of the park. I think the cast is great. I loved Melissa Barrera in the lead. I thought she was a very sympathetic and likable character. Dan Stevens just absolutely chewing the scenery. I mean, he was in Godzilla vs. Kong or Godzilla X Kong the other week, and he's good in that. But here, he is just, he's chewing it up, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I also liked everyone else. Catherine Newton was cool. Angus Cloud, rest in peace. Probably the last movie that he made, I guess. He was good. And Kevin Durand honestly has some of the better funny lines in the movie that I kind of got a chuckle out of. The movie there's humor. Apparently, I've seen some people who didn't really work for them. I don't think it's like haha, laugh out loud, super funny, but there's definitely little lines here and there that I did chuckle at, and I thought they were pretty funny. So just overall, the entertainment factor is high. Lots of gore, lots of blood, and I love it. I'm here for that. It's definitely very R-rated, and that's how it should be. I don't understand PG-13 vampire movies. Generally, I don't get it. Nice R-rated. They drink blood. There should be blood and gore, and this movie has plenty of it. And so I thought the story was really good too. Now here's where, and of course, we don't do spoilers here, and I will not spoil anything. So if you're worried about that, don't. But what I will say is, I think they marketed this movie wrong. I don't know a way around it, because in my opinion, if you took someone to see this movie who had no idea what it was, never saw a commercial, never saw an advertisement, didn't know it was a vampire movie, I think they might get a little bit more fun out of it than someone who did. I think them showing in the trailers and everything that this is a full-on vampire movie, I get it. They're trying to market it, to the horror crowd and things like that. This movie reminded me in a way of From Dusk Till Dawn, in that movie starts off as not a vampire movie at all. It's like this crime movie with the Gecko brothers, and they're robbing and they're going on the run and all this stuff. And then halfway through, it's a vampire movie. And this movie does something a little similar to that, where the first act is there's no vampires, and it's just sort of a crime thriller almost. And then the vampire stuff. Now, again, I didn't just spoil anything, because I promise you, the trailers tell you it's a vampire movie. But if they were somehow able to market this as sort of like a kidnapping thriller or something, figure out a way, I think people would have been more surprised with it. But that's just my 2 cents. I guess they just, trailers these days, they just give it away. So, for the horror crowd who are wanting to see a vampire movie, great, go check it out. I really enjoyed it. But if you have friends who don't watch trailers and have no idea and hopefully they're not watching this review and they have no idea, take them and don't tell them it's a vampire movie, because I think they'll get a kick out of it. As long as they're not like totally opposed to, you know, like horror. That's just my 2 cents. I think they could have done something a little different. I don't know. But either way, I had a really good time with this movie. On the downside, I don't really have too many negatives. I think it's a little long. I think they could have shaved about 10 or 15 minutes from this movie, especially in the second act. The second act, it kind of drags. The first act, I like the setup. The third act is just balls to the wall. The second act could have trimmed just a little bit. And one of the characters is just a little annoying at times. But overall, I had a really good time. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I had a blast. It's a really fun movie. I had a good time with it. So that's my review for Abigail. I will be back this same weekend with another review for the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, the latest Guy Ritchie movie. So until then, take it easy.